The entire story of the Anunnaki. Sleep story for the mind. Settle in. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. We're going to travel back, not just thousands of years, but perhaps before time was counted at all. Back to ancient Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers, where the Tigris and Euphrates flowed through green valleys of life. Here, the world's first cities were born: Babylon, Uruk, Nippur, and the first stories ever told were carved into clay with soft reeds. Among those stories, one name appears again and again, a name that echoes with mystery and starlight: the Anunnaki. The gods who came from the sky. According to the Sumerians, the Anunnaki were the great ones, the powerful beings who descended from the heavens to shape the world and guide humanity. They were said to live upon a shining place in the sky, sometimes called Anu's kingdom, named for their father, the sky god Anu. From that celestial home, they looked down upon the earth, a world of chaos, dust, and silence. And so they came down, bringing with them the spark of creation. The shaping of the earth. In these stories, the Anunnaki descended to the fertile plains of Mesopotamia and began their great work. They built rivers and mountains, raised cities of stone and gold, and divided the heavens from the earth. Each of them had a purpose. Enki, the wise lord of water and wisdom, who taught humanity knowledge and crafts. Enlil, the storm god, powerful and proud, who ruled the winds and decreed the fate of nations. Inanna, the radiant queen of love and war, who danced between light and shadow. And Ninhursag, the great mother, giver of life to gods and mortals alike. Together they brought order from chaos, and from clay they shaped humankind. The shaping of the earth. In these stories, the Anunnaki descended to the fertile plains of Mesopotamia and began their great work. They built rivers and mountains, raised cities of stone and gold, and divided the heavens from the earth. Each of them had a purpose. Enki, the wise lord of water and wisdom, who taught humanity knowledge and crafts. Enlil, the storm god, powerful and proud, who ruled the winds and decreed the fate of nations. Inanna, the radiant queen of love and war, who danced between light and shadow. And Ninhursag, the great mother, giver of life to gods and mortals alike. Together they brought order from chaos, and from clay they shaped humankind. The creation of humanity. The old tablets say that the Anunnaki grew weary of labor, of digging canals, tending the land, and building the world's foundations. So Enki and Ninhursag formed a plan. From the red earth of Mesopotamia and the divine essence of the gods, they molded the first humans to serve, to build, and to honor the gods who made them. And when the first man opened his eyes, the stars seemed to shimmer with approval. Thus began the long story of humankind and our eternal bond with the divine. The flood and the fall. But the stories say that humans multiplied and grew too loud for the gods to bear. Enlil, lord of the storm, grew angry at their noise and defiance. He sent droughts and famine, and finally a great flood to wash the world clean. Only one man was saved, Atrahasis, the wise one, warned by Enki, who whispered to him to build a great boat and gather life within it. The waters came, the winds howled, and when the world grew silent again, a new dawn rose, a second beginning for humankind.
The celestial mystery. In time, the Sumerian civilization faded, but their stories did not. They passed into Babylonian, Assyrian, and Akkadian myths, their gods transforming, their names changing, but the essence remaining the same. In the modern age, some thinkers, like Zecharia Sitchin, looked again at these ancient texts and wondered if the Anunnaki were not gods at all, but visitors from another world. He spoke of Nibiru, a hidden planet far beyond Pluto, whose inhabitants came to Earth long ago to mine gold and resources, and in doing so, created humanity as a hybrid species to serve their purpose. It is a theory of cosmic origins, controversial, mysterious, and forever unproven. Yet it captures the imagination because it feels both ancient and strangely familiar. The legacy of the Anunnaki. Whatever truth lies beneath the legend, the story of the Anunnaki endures because it speaks to something deep within us, our wonder at the stars, our longing to know where we came from, and our belief that perhaps our creators still watch us from afar. Their names echo in myth, Enki, Enlil, Inanna. Their temples now dust, their cities silent beneath the sands of Iraq and Syria. But if you walk through those ruins at night, when the desert is still, and the moonlight glows across broken stone, you can almost hear whispers in a language older than time. The Anunnaki, the gods who came from the sky, the ones who shaped the earth and the heart of humanity. So rest now, dreamer. Imagine the stars above you, the same stars the Sumerians once gazed upon when they carved their stories into clay. Perhaps, in your dreams, you will hear the soft hum of distant wings, and see the golden light of the Anunnaki shimmering in the endless dark, watching over the world they helped create.
Close your eyes and let the world grow quiet. Breathe in slowly and out. We're traveling now, back through the ages, beyond history, beyond the written word, to the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia. Between two great rivers, the first cities rose from the dust: Ur, Babylon, Nippur. Here, beneath the golden sun, the Sumerians wrote their stories in clay. And among those stories was one name whispered with reverence and awe: the Anunnaki, the great beings who came from the sky. They were said to dwell beyond the heavens, in the shining realm of Anu, the father of gods. From the stars they came down, descending to the earth to shape the land and awaken life. They brought knowledge, law, and light. They carved mountains, divided the rivers, and taught humankind the ways of the world. Among them were the greatest of names: Enki, the wise one, Lord of water, creation, and wisdom; Enlil, mighty ruler of the skies, the storm and the winds of destiny; Inanna, radiant goddess of love and war, whose beauty and power could stir the heavens; and Ninhursag, the mother of all living things. Together they shaped the world below, and then they made humankind. The tablets say the Anunnaki grew weary of toil, the digging, the building, the endless work of creation. So Enki and Ninhursag gathered the red clay of the earth, and with the essence of the divine, they molded the first humans. And when the first man opened his eyes, the gods smiled, for he was the child of both heaven and earth.
But as the ages passed, humans multiplied and grew noisy. Their songs, their laughter, their cries rose up to the heavens. And Enlil, the storm lord, grew angry. He sent droughts, then famine, and finally a great flood. Only one man was saved, Atrahasis, the wise one, warned by Enki, who whispered through the wind, "Build a boat, save your family and the creatures of the earth." The waters rose, and then they fell, and from that silence the world began anew. Time flowed on, empires rose and fell, but the stories of the Anunnaki never faded. In later ages, the Babylonians and Assyrians still spoke their names, though the faces of their gods had changed. And in our modern time, some looked again upon those ancient tablets and wondered, were the Anunnaki truly gods, or could they have been something more? Visitors from beyond the stars, travelers from a hidden world, a place some call Nibiru, who came to Earth long ago in search of gold, knowledge, and life itself. It is only a theory, a story within a story. Yet like the myths of old, it makes us wonder, where do we truly come from, and who, in the vastness of the cosmos, might still be watching us? Now the cities of Sumer lie silent, their temples buried beneath the sands of time. But when the moonlight falls across those ruins, and the desert wind sighs through broken stones, it almost sounds like whispers. The voices of the Anunnaki, carried on the night air, ancient, eternal, and filled with love for the world they shaped. So rest now, traveler of time. You are made of the same clay, the same stars, the same dreams. The Anunnaki may be gone, but their story still lives in you. So, sleep well, and may your dreams be written in starlight.
Sound, gentle desert wind, soft chimes, faint heart-like drum. Visual, slow zoom into stars over an ancient desert. Voice, close your eyes and let your mind drift back in time. Before history was written, before kingdoms rose and fell, there was a land between two rivers, Mesopotamia. Sound, flowing water, Tigris and Euphrates, night insects. Visual, ancient rivers glowing under moonlight. Voice, here, the first cities awakened, Uruk, Babylon, Nippur. And in these cities, the people carved their stories into clay. Among those stories, one name shone brighter than the rest,
the Anunnaki, the great ones who came from the sky. Sound, distant choir tones, shimmering star sounds. Visual, stars parting, light descending to earth. Voice. The Sumerians said the Anunnaki lived in the kingdom of the heavens, the shining realm of Anu, the Sky Father. From there, they looked down upon the earth, a world of chaos and dust, and they decided to bring it to life. They descended in brilliance and flame, and began to shape creation. Stone chisels, rhythmic drums, echoes of chanting. Visual, ancient temples rising from sand. They built mountains and rivers, set the stars in their courses, and raised cities of marble and gold. Among them were the mighty ones. Enki, the god of water and wisdom. Enlil, the lord of the wind and fate. Inanna, goddess of love and war, whose eyes burned with starlight. And Ninhursag, the mother of all life. Together, they shaped the world. And then they created humankind. Soft sound of hands in clay, heartbeat rhythm. Visual, warm light over clay figures being shaped. The Anunnaki grew weary of their labor, of digging and tending the earth. So Enki took the clay of the land and mixed it with divine essence. He and Ninhursag molded beings in their image, fragile, curious, filled with spirit. Thus, the first humans opened their eyes and looked upon the world the gods had made. And the Anunnaki saw it was good.
As eons passed, Gaia grew lonely under the empty heavens. She longed for a companion, someone to share her endless expanse. So she lifted her voice, deep as thunder beneath oceans. From me, let the sky be born, vast and eternal, to shelter the earth. And so Uranus, the sky, unfolded above her, blue and shining with endless stars. He looked upon Gaia and said, "You are beautiful, Earth Mother. Together we shall fill the void." Their love was the first union of heaven and earth. From their embrace came the first life, mighty beings known as the Titans, 12 in number, radiant and terrible. They were vast and immortal. Oceanus, lord of the sea rivers. Hyperion, the sun. Thea, light. Kronos, Rhea, Iapetus, and others who would shape the world to come. And when the Titans' laughter shook the air, even Chaos herself smiled.
Whatever the truth may be, the story of the Anunnaki endures. It reminds us that we are both dust and starlight, born of the earth, but reaching for the heavens. The ancient tablets may crumble, the temples may fall, but the wonder, the mystery remains. So rest now, dreamer. Let the desert winds carry you to the land of the two rivers, where the gods once walked, and humankind first opened its eyes. Sleep deeply, for you are the child of both clay and cosmos. The Anunnaki, their story is yours. Intro. A question in the night. Tonight, as you close your eyes, let your mind drift far beyond the familiar world beyond the noise of cities and the glow of screens, into the quiet space between stars, where questions older than time still echo. Are we alone, or have visitors walked among us long before our history was ever written? This is the story of whispers in stone, of gods from the skies, and of secrets that may still be sleeping beneath our feet. Part 1. The Sky Gods of the Ancient World. In every corner of the ancient earth, people looked to the heavens and saw not emptiness, but presence. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, beings who descended from the stars to shape humanity. The Egyptians told of Ra, the sun god who traveled the sky in a golden ship. The ancient Hindus described Vimanas, flying chariots made of light and fire. And in South America, the Nazca people drew enormous lines across the desert, shapes only visible from the sky, as if they were calling someone home. Were these gods, or visitors from the stars, remembered through myth and art?
Part 2. The Builders of Stone and Light. There are places on Earth that seem to defy time itself. The Great Pyramid of Giza, so perfectly aligned to the stars that even today its precision humbles modern engineers. The Temple of Baalbek in Lebanon, where blocks weighing hundreds of tons were placed so seamlessly that no blade can fit between them. The city of Pumapunku in Bolivia, with stone cuts as smooth as machine work, yet created thousands of years ago. Who taught ancient humans such precision? Was it genius alone, or knowledge gifted from beyond? Part 3. The Hidden Memory. Imagine this. Thousands of years ago, a light appears in the sky. It hovers silently above a desert city. The people fall to their knees, their torches flickering in awe. From the light descend figures in shining garments, their voices calm, their faces radiant. They teach agriculture, language, the stars. And then, just as suddenly, they leave, promising to return when the stars are right. Over centuries, memory becomes myth. Myth becomes religion. And the truth fades into symbol and stone. Part 4. The Clues in the Stars. In the Dogon tribe of Africa, elders tell stories of star beings from Sirius, who came to Earth and taught them about the universe. Yet modern science confirmed the Dogon's details about Sirius's companion star only recently with telescopes. How could they have known? And the Mayans, with their intricate calendars and cosmic precision, claimed their kings descended from celestial serpents. Again and again, the same story returns. Knowledge from the heavens, wisdom from the light.
Part 5. The Modern Mystery. Even today, the skies are not silent. Pilots see lights that move against the laws of physics. Satellites record strange objects that vanish in seconds. Governments declassify UFO files, and yet answers remain just out of reach. Maybe they never truly left. Maybe they are watching, waiting, guiding quietly, as they have always done. Not gods, not monsters, but travelers from somewhere our minds can barely imagine. Closure, the dream between worlds. So as you drift into sleep tonight, imagine the night sky not as empty, but alive, with ancient friends hidden among the stars. Perhaps they are not hiding from us. Perhaps they are waiting for us to awaken enough to see them clearly. Close your eyes. Let the sound of the wind carry you. Let the stars above whisper their silent stories. Because somewhere, beyond memory and myth, the truth is still watching.